This guide will give you the knowledge you need to not just survive, but thrive in the Haran apocalypse. Every detail here comes from hours of running, fighting, and experimenting with the game's mechanics, testing what works and discovering what doesn't. Think of this as a field journal, written in blood, sweat, and respawn. My first lesson was clear. If you don't master movement, you won't survive. You can reach higher leaps by holding down your jump button. Those few centimeters often save me from being clawed down by the infect. Momentum is also part of the equation. If you know your physics, you can get yourself serious air time the faster you run and jump higher, bringing you a training ride to parkour around the city's rooftops, ledges, and infrastructures. When you jump from a relatively high level with no platform inside, go for the ledges. It can save your fall, but at the cost of some health if it's too high. However, if you do unlock after landing, the height limit would be estimated to be 18 meters maximum. There are some areas that contains canvases, cars, and bundles of leaves and skip it that you can land safely as well. Do all this and your limbs will thank you probably. That was my first foundation. Learn to move or don't bother learning anything else. But movement alone isn't enough. As I stumble upon through apartments, I noticed red and white tapes marking vents and crawl space. Sometimes there aren't any clues at all. The best way to know whether they are vents is that when you can't open a door, then that's the point to look around carefully this time and with curiosity. In those hidden spots, I found crafting materials, equipment, weapon, and mod blueprints, which I started to understand the second lesson. Loot is organized, not random. It is rather convenient on how the world is structured and when it comes to looting crafting materials. Electronics in tech stores, medicine in pharmacies, guns and ammo in convoys and police vehicles. Planning your route for farming materials is important if you want to maximize your time and value. You can go to pharmacy, then go to electronics and clothes shops in succession, and you repeat from there. Sometimes there is no zombies in those shops where you return them. To ensure they are fully respawned, I recommend staying away from the looted shops at least 150 meters to be safe and give it some time to breathe and magically respawn those materials. Convoys though came with their own problem. Sometimes there is no military zombie around the area, so I am not sure whether this is a bug. But if said zombies are present, killing them and load their keycards to open those convoys back doors. The side of the convoy and police vehicles trunks can be lockpicked under pressure, but lockpicking happens in real time, so zombies can grab you all of a sudden as you're about to unlock it. You can either clear the place out or from infected before lockpicking, or you can try your luck to speedrun lockpicking and leave. The choice is yours. Lesson 3. Weapons are choices, not just tools. When it comes to weapons, it feels like shopping for the right weapon by craft. Quick one-handed or heavy two-handed weapons, which one do you prefer swinging at? One-handed weapons provide high speed but low attack power, while the two-handed weapons are the total opposite of the one-handed weapons. However, one must need to know their tips and shafts. Bladed or blunt, the weapons give you a higher chance to dismember and kill and hit multiple enemies in each swing. Blunt weapons are useful for stunning them, allowing you to glory kill them. Two-handed blunt weapons can still hit multiple enemies, but the odds are rather mild. Every swing I take on my enemies will cause your weapon's durability, so I had to consider whether to repair, replace, or modify them. Each weapon has its own maximum number of repairs. I recommend make full use of their durability before repairing them until they are no longer repairable. Weapon mods open up many strategies you can deploy. Fire mods burn hordes and fire will spread among the hordes, if they are clustered that is, but they will get fizzled in the range. Shock can stun your enemies, allowing you to take a breather to sort out your equipment or heal. Poison, bleed, and ice provide damages over time. Once the enemies are infected with such status, you'll want an instant bonus damage on top of your melee damage. I would suggest using blast mod. Mod effects can be activated by critical hits or power attacks. Depending on which mod you are using, if you enjoy spamming left clicking to victory, then critical hit activation mod suits you. If you prefer slow, methodical, hard swinging action, and power attack mod activation is the play here. Arms offer interesting effects. They boost damage percentage and core damage. If you have a weapon that you enjoy so much that you want to marry it, get durability mod. Want a high damage value per hit to ensure your enemies stay down for the count, get the weapon damage percentage. If not, test them all and get the feel of it. Find what makes you feel powerful. Guns do not have the durability on them, so you don't have to worry about shooting them non-stop. Actually, don't shoot them. Ammo is hard to come by. If chance-based mods weren't enough, the game also offers throwing knives. They can be normal throwing knives or they can be modded with sharp, bleed, toxic, and explosive. Swinging your weapons requires stamina and they expand quite a lot. If you wasted all your stamina, you'll be left unable to dodge or swing your weapon, and it takes longer than usual to recover your stamina. So always be considerate of your stamina use. The only sure way to increase your stamina level is by leveling up a character. Upgrading weapons added another layer of decision making. This can be enhanced up to your current level, but doing so doesn't reset your repair limit. The small increase of stats isn't worth in some situations, and the requirements is super expensive. Upgrading a nearly broken weapon was a waste of precious resources. Knowing when to invest and when to let go became just as important as swinging the blade itself. Lesson 4. The world is your weapon. With the hordes of infected coming to get my cake, no blade could save me. That's when I started to use the environment. Gas tank, grenades, molotovs. A grenade and gas tank provide high damage to enemies, but the noise they make afterwards will attract unwanted attention to other infected. Molotovs are by far the best option in maintaining stealth.
You can unlock a skill that unlocks the heavy flavor and make your brothers proud. Fire wasn't only for killing, it was for shaping the battlefield for the Emperor, that is.
If fire is not your thing, bow and arrow is another option you can utilize for stealth. You still have to keep an eye on your stamina and take the clear shot when you can. You can do trick shots and mid-air slow motion shots on your enemies with the bow and arrow, that is. Lesson 5. Gear shapes playstyle. At first I wore whatever armor gave the best protection, but gear came with hidden bonuses. Increased loot, quantity gathered, stronger attacks, and defense against certain enemies. Sometimes it was worth trading defense for efficiency. Builds weren't just about raw stats, they were about shaping the survivor you want to be. Lesson 6. Claim your safe house. Safe houses became my checkpoints. It can be bases, apartments, houses, and watchtowers. Watchtowers added their own challenges when it comes to climbing, sometimes even guarded by bandits. Bases were operated by human civilization, and there are shops and quests you can partake that expands what they can offer to you in terms of service. There is a certain quest where you have to activate substations, which in turn activates certain traps around the city. Apartments and houses sometimes have survivors who acted as a quest giver for you, and quests provide a decent amount of experience to level up faster. Safe houses and bases offer crafting tables and blueprints for you to utilize and prepare for the upcoming battle. Lesson 7. Humans are deadlier than zombies. Fighting the infected taught me panic, while human enemies taught me precision. They blocked, they dodged, punished every mistake. The best way to deal with them is the one and only is a dropkick, rendering them stunned and giving you time to slice off their limbs to end their family tree. Against groups, molotovs and stealth weapons would be the best choice. If none of this suits you fancy, then it is time to bring out the inner American in you by shooting them in the head. Yes, in the head. Why else? But do be warned that after shooting a single bullet out of your gun, expect a handful of infected coming right at you. Lesson 8. Progress is a cycle. As you progress the story, city zombies will become more aggressive, so always be ready for anything. If you can't handle them, go to stores to replenish your materials, come back stronger. There are some side quests will bring you a one-time areas that are filled with lore and reward. Make sure you check everything in the place that has to offer before you leave. Progress wasn't a steady advancement. It was a cycle of trial, error, and growth. Lesson 9. Respect the night. Nothing prepared me for how it changed everything. Volatiles turns the streets into hunting grounds. If they see you, fighting is not an option. Night wasn't about strength. It's about fear, caution, and endurance. Make use of your survival senses. It gives you an idea where the special infectors are around so that you can plan your escape route to the nearest safe house. Living through it meant knowing when not to fight. This is my final lesson. Adaptation is the true skill. And that's it for my guide for dying like the beast. This world doesn't reward recklessness. It rewards adaptation. Every leap, every scavenge convoy, every hard-learned mistake shaped me into a survivor. And if you take one thing from my experience, let it be this. A run doesn't go forgive mistakes, but it does reward to those who learn from them. And that's pretty much it. I just want to say, if you make it to this point of the video, I just want to say thank you so much for taking your time to watch my video, and I hope you learned something from this. Do let me know what you have learned from this video and what I might have missed that I should have added to this video. Put it down in the comments below. And as always, happy gaming.